Good morning, or should I say goedemorgen. This morning's coffee break comes from Amsterdam in the Netherlands. And I've been here for a few days just on holiday and taking the opportunity to get to know the city, a city I've not been in probably around 15 years. And also to experience a little Dutch. I don't speak much Dutch at all, but more about that a bit later on. I like to do a Monday morning coffee break just to update you on what's happening at Coffee Break this week. We have got a number of podcasts going out this week, and of course there's the usual social content, some club content, and our masterclass. So I'll update you on each of these. First of all, our podcast content. We will start this week with our Coffee Break French magazine, and in episode 8 we are talking about Geneva, the city of Geneva in Switzerland. It's called Entre les Montres de Luxe et le Lac Léman. So from luxury watches to Lake Geneva. Le Lac Léman, it's got a different name in French, but Lake Geneva we tend to call it in English. In our Spanish magazine, we're travelling to Argentina for a festival of the wine harvest. So some interesting content there from Argentina in our Spanish magazine. Moving on to Coffee Break Italian, Season 3, we have episode 19 going out, and that's all about the trapassato prossimo, which is a tense that is used, it's called the pluperfect in English, and it's used to talk about what you had done before something else happened. So that's the trapassato prossimo, and there's some interesting aspects of that in Italian because it's used slightly differently from the way it's used in English in some situations. In our Coffee Break German Season 3 episode 19, that is all about, what is it about this week? It's about causative adverbs, or words that mean things like that's why, or therefore, that kind of thing. So some adverbs in German in lesson 19 of Season 3. Now, on social this week, of course, as ever, we have our regular content on Twitter, on Instagram and on Facebook. And I would say look out this week on Instagram for a couple of things in particular. One is a very interesting Swedish idiom, which is something to do with cows and ice. That's all I'll say just now, but look out for this. It's a really fun idiom, and I certainly will be using this one as soon as I get an opportunity. And the other thing to look out for on Instagram is a new series that's starting today, and that is our Coffee Break Travel Toolkit. That is something to help you if you're heading off on your travels, and just some useful images that provide some excellent vocabulary for use in different situations that you may find yourself in when travelling. Obviously our club content continues, so that is on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays. So on Mondays it's listening, Wednesdays it's reading, and on Fridays is a video lesson. Now our club is aimed at both beginners and lower intermediate learners. So if you find yourself in that area where you've recently started the language, you're working through perhaps our Season 1 course, and you want just a little more practice, then the club level 1 is perfect for you. If you have perhaps done Season 1 already and you're working into Season 2 or even beyond Season 2, then our intermediate content or our level 2 content on the club will also be very useful to you. So find out more about the club at coffeebreaklanguages.com/club. Now, the masterclass is our 6-month course, and this is the first month of the course working through in July. And in Module 1, we have been working through content on tricky verbs in French and idiomatic expressions in Spanish. And it's time now for our test. So today or tomorrow, I think today, the test will become available, and that will give you the chance to work out what you've learned, to see how much you've learned, and indeed identify the things that you need more work on. So if you're a masterclass learner, you can look forward to completing the test today or tomorrow or whenever it suits you best. Now, one of the things that I just heard of French people walking past there, or French speakers walking past, and I think that's one of the things I love most about travelling in an international city like Amsterdam or many other international cities around the world. Look, they're putting the canopy over here. If I go dark, you'll know why. But when you walk around and you hear so many different languages, and you can eavesdrop on the conversations and try to work out what's going on or what's being said. And I think even if you don't understand everything that's being said, if you're listening to a language that you're learning, then you can really try to pick up the intonation and the ways, the rhythms of the language. And I think that is something that is equally useful. Even if you're not understanding everything, then you can still pick up some of those, the rhythms, the patterns, the intonation of the language. And that's certainly something I've been enjoying doing over the past few days. As I said, my Dutch is not great. I can manage a few phrases here and there. I really need to practice a little bit more Dutch. And it is tricky to do so in a country where so many people speak such amazing English, because even if you try to say "ik wil graag een kop koffie," which I think means I would like a cup of coffee, then you may well get an answer in English back. Perhaps marginally less so here than in Scandinavia, but that's for further investigation and further discussion. But just walking along this street, I've heard Italian, I've heard French, I've heard Portuguese, I've heard Chinese, I've heard Dutch, obviously, and what else did I hear? I heard some Polish earlier too. So all of these different languages being used in an international city, and many of you live in international cities, so I would say use the opportunities that you have to listen as much as you can to other languages. So my question to you today is, have you ever eavesdropped on a conversation in the language you're learning? Did you try to understand it, or did you try to focus on the rhythm of the language? Let us know about your experiences by posting in the comments section for this video. Okay, I'll leave you with a little compilation of some of the images that I've seen over the past few days, but in the meantime I will like to wish you a week of productive language learning, and of course happy coffee breaking. So, tot ziens!